Hey, hey, welcome to Play Skillfully podcast. Listen, it is New Year's Eve. I cannot even believe it. So we have a special treat for you because some of our podcasts are timely. And you guys, this one is timely. I have a special guest, Amy Davis. I have a confession. She's also a dear friend of mine. So I'm doubly excited to have her here. But she has just written this amazing book called Dream Day. So, Amy, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks so much for having me, Kathy.
I'm so glad you're here, Amy. Listen, I know a lot about you, but our listeners might not know anything about you. So fill them in. Tell them who is the lovely Amy Davis.
I am a mom of four daughters who are all now adults, which is crazy. So for the last, 27 years, my oldest is almost 27. I now have a granddaughter as well. But for the last 27 years, I've been really focused in on raising those girls. And I homeschooled them all throughout. During that time, I also coached cheer for about 10 years. And now, I guess as my youngest was approaching high school, her finishing up high school, I knew that the next season for me would be encouraging moms because as much as motherhood has just been my heart, it's hard. It's hard
It
and
is.
we
Yeah.
need encouragement. We need support in each other and the ones who have gone before us poured into my life. And I want to encourage moms in the same way. So about 2 years ago, became a certified life coach for women. And that's really what I'm pursuing now and started writing again about 2 years ago. And really, it's just my experiences, my successes, my failures. Like, hey, learn from what I did wrong so that you don't have to go through that. But really just with a heart to help lighten that load for young moms and moms at every season because it's wonderful, beautiful, but so difficult too. So we need each other.
Yeah, I so agree with you. I know we both share that passion, and I was mentored as a young girl by an older woman who still mentors me. I mean, she is still in my life. I met her at 18, and
Mm.
she's still one of my first phone calls if I need something, and we're still so close, and that's such a gift to me. And every
Yes.
time I think about what is my purpose, it's to give back. It's to give back what was given to me, and
Yes.
let me just say firsthand, if someone can sign up and be coached by you, wow, what a gift for them because
Mm,
you impacted my daughter's lives. I
mm,
mean, I know especially for my Sarah, you are her second mother.
mm.
She calls you, thinks of you so highly. You have poured into her. I just can never say thank you enough. So if you're out
Well,
there and you're thinking
she's
you need a
blessed.
life coach, well,
She's blessed to have you as her mom because I'm telling you, she's
well,
an incredible young woman. You've done a great job.
you're so. I think we've done a great job, Amy, because you are
Yeah,
right there. But
that's right.
listen, I know this isn't to promo your coaching business, but I just want to say, wow, if someone needs a life coach and they are looking for that, you're their girl. I mean, I want to sign up. I mean, because you do have so much wisdom and you do have four amazing daughters,
Mm.
and that is fabulous. But we are here to talk about this new book because I went through it and I'm excited. I'm going to do it. Tell me how this came to be. How did the whole dream day concept come about?
Well, it really started many, many years ago. I started out in finance and had just great leaders and thought leaders teach me how to plan ahead for the year coming and set goals and those sort of things. So when we got married and then even had kids, we made this a regular part of our lives. It wasn't called Dream Day back then. It was just a day that we set aside in late December, early January to look back at the previous year and then to look ahead and set goals and vision for our next year. And we talked about core values. Those core values, even that we set back then, are still evident in our family and our kids and our DNA of our family, really. So eventually we included the kids and kind of formalized it a little bit more and started calling it Dream Day. And we literally go rent out like a little place, a little room and sit and come prepared with our questions and our goals and our visions and we share it. And that's sort of the Dream Day experience. So I guess 2 years ago, I started thinking, I really feel like we all want to do this. I mean, a lot of us think this way, but
Yeah.
there's the guide provides just a really simple, easy way. It's not intimidating, I hope. It's pretty simple and it just guides you through again, reflecting on last year, kind of making peace with it, learning from your failure, and then you dream, and then you set sort of a map, a plan for the dreaming, which is setting your goals and being a little more specific. So it's a hopefully simple process that will make it easier for families, friends to come together and have that day every year just to look ahead. Vision is it really gives us life. And I did notice,
Mm,
in dealing with my own kids and this a lot of young kids, a lack of just vision and purpose. It's a struggle. It's something that
mhm.
isn't really they don't learn it in school. They're not really sort of taught the tools of how to come about that. So it's needed. And then a lot of young people, they don't even think about it. They don't even know it's a thing. So
Right.
they're just sort of
Right.
wading through life year after year. And this just is really the whole idea is just wake up and dream and think about
I love that you said
what
that
you
too.
want.
I love how you started that. I was looking through the book, and when you said that wake up and dream, it just kind of hit me. I thought, I think you're right. So many people are, they're sleeping through life. I mean, for lack of a
Yeah.
better way to say it, they're just kind of, it's going on. And then they wake up 10 years later. And so,
Yeah.
what a great idea for someone to be able to pause and be intentional with their
Yeah.
time, be intentional with their vision. Our family does something similar, or has done in the past. We've made posters, and we called them dream posters, and we would do
Mm,
that and cut
love that.
magazines and pictures out of magazines and things. But what I love is the plan that you laid out. You say it perfectly. You did make it so easy to follow. Probably my favorite thing is that you started with looking back and being grateful.
Mm.
And I really love that. Why did you choose to start there? Like, why did you choose with the, let's start there?
Well, I think that being grateful is a catalyst for dreaming. That's sort of my
Mm,
thought because when we're grateful for where we are and when we know where we are, so that's, I mean, part of it is that the honest
mhm.
inventory is like knowing where you are and being grateful because if we're not grateful, we're we're really not able to realistically look ahead. To me, if I'm sitting here
Yeah.
going, "Oh, it's, everything is wrong. It's all bad." If we don't start from a place of being grateful, really every single day, it sets us in a
Mm,
positive mindset to look and go, "All right, there's hope in that," right? When we're constantly just looking at what's wrong, and it's easy to do that. I mean, there are things that are wrong and need to be changed, but starting from a positive place it puts us in the right frame of mind to go, you know what I'm grateful for? And I can make this better where I am right now. And
right.
that's a realistic goal to make better what we're, but then it also gives you hope to go, oh, I'm making it now, even though it's hard. And so
Mhm.
I can see that there's hope for me for the future. So I really try to start every day going, all right, what am I grateful for? What am I content in right here? Now, what
Yeah.
do I want to grow? How do I want to grow it? And it's a positive play, it's a positive mindset. And if we don't start there, where do we stay stuck? Because it's
Yeah.
overwhelming.
Yeah, I think you're right. I keep a on my notes app. I have
Mm,
it's ongoing as my grateful list, and every day I just type 5 things in, and I just keep it there so I can go back and look because I started journaling it. But sometimes our journal's not with me. My phone's usually with me, so
mm,
I just thought, you know what, I'm just gonna keep it here so I can go back and I try not to repeat things. And you sometimes get to the nitty gritty of things. Like I'm grateful for coffee, but and I know that seems silly, but I am grateful
Me
for
too.
coffee, and I am grateful for my dogs. I mean, the things that you come up with, it does make you be intentional even about that gratefulness. And I think
Yeah.
you are right. I think sometimes life feels so overwhelming, and if we can't be grateful, it's hard to have hope about the future. So what would you say to someone who's like listening and already they're like, "Oh, this feels like a lot. I feel overwhelmed by dreaming. I don't even know where to start."
Mm.
Where would you suggest they start?
I think, for especially for the moms that are overwhelmed, like the best place to start is to just be still. Just
Mm,
carve out a little bit of time, pause, reflect, that there's a little activity in the book that I learned many, many years ago from an author, and it's called Palms Up, Palms Down. And it really is just, I mean, I practice this probably monthly, realistically. but I just sit when I feel overwhelmed, when I feel burdened, and I just release. I just release. I literally say out loud, these are the burdens I'm carrying. This is the care I'm carrying that is not mine to carry. This is what,
Mm,
I can influence or control. This is what I can't. And you just have to release those things. It could be,
yeah.
relational issues, it could be financial issues, whatever it is, you just release it and literally speak it out loud. I release this. And then you pause and you flip your hands up and you receive. And it's, whatever God wants to show you, whatever you need to be honest about with yourself. And it's amazing the peace and encouragement that I get from just a simple little, discipline or practice like that in my life. And I think that's a great place to start. And then I do have some activities that can kind of help, like just super relaxed, creative ways to just start thinking about dreams. And one of those is your perfect day. It's a little activity that says, okay, 6 months from now, what would your perfect day look like? This is something that's been used in coaching. It's not a new idea, but you map that out. Like, how are you feeling emotionally, mentally, spiritually? Who are you with? Where are you going? I mean, it can be as simple as like, I'm on a hike with my family and I'm feeling peace and so what that does is it says, here's a dream for you. Here's something that you are
Mm,
aspiring to. And then you look at that and go, okay, that's here. I'm here because now you've done your honest inventory, super simple. And you go, okay, what's needed to get from here to here? And that
yeah.
is such a great tool that goes, all right, that's a way to dream. And then also a way to map out the plan to get there. So that's a twofold one. The other one is to just a vision board, like you just said. And that's something that, goodness, those are everywhere. You can probably go on
Yeah.
Pinterest and download something. So you don't even have to have a book to do that. You're just going, okay, do I want to travel somewhere? 3 years ago, we said as a family, like we haven't traveled. I mean, part of that was financial, part of that was everybody was in activities. It was like this year we want to go somewhere. That took intention, that took saving, budgeting differently, making the plans. And we did. That year we went literally from going nowhere to going to Europe, and we went to England and it was beautiful, London, Paris, and it was one of the best times we've ever had. And it started on that vision board going, we want to
Mm,
travel as a family and go somewhere. Those are a couple of activities that, the book just sort of walks you through. It's very uninhibited. That's a big thing. A big piece of advice I would give is don't try to figure out the how in the beginning.
mm.
Just just free yourself to in an uninhibited way to just dream. Like what have I always wanted to do? What's a new hobby I want to start? Don't count money, don't count time, just dream. So
I love that. Why do you think it's important for our young mamas to do that? Because here we both are. We've been at it for a long time. We're empty nesters. It's a lot easier for us to sit down with this book and fill it out. I mean, I wish I could. So beautifully designed. It's just detailed, but like you said, it's not intimidating. You just walk us through it. But why do you think it's important that we get our young mamas doing this?
I think 2 reasons. One, I think to start our kids with this sort of forward thinking mindset, vision
Mm-hmm.
mindset is a
Mm-hmm.
gift we can give them. Because I remember even being myself in high school, like looking back and even in elementary school, you just get stuck in the mundane and the culture and you don't really think forward. And I think we make a lot of the mistakes we make. We waste time that is precious time for us. Even as young kids, we can put
Yeah.
that vision mindset into our kids. They like reason better. So, like, I'm going, okay, I know I
Yeah.
want to be a doctor or I know I want to be an electrician. And so at that point, when they're young and they already have a bent toward that, and you're encouraging that and sort of calling that out in them, and they're writing down this year, what do I want to learn about engineering or about whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
nursing or anything they want to do, and they're learning about that, and then they can change that if they want to, but they're learning how to think forward. And when you do that, you're less likely to blow up your life. I mean, honestly, you
Yeah.
stay on track. It gives you motivation, it gives you goals to I can remember doing this with the cheerleaders, going like, what kind of, mom do you want to be? What do you want your home to be like?
Mm,
And you can see that it's like it pulls them out of this place of just being stuck in the scrolling and where culture just naturally takes you. And they go, oh, wow, I haven't thought about the kind of mom I want to be, or I haven't thought about what I want to accomplish and how I want to impact this world. And when they start thinking that way, that it changes everything. It can
mm,
change even the decisions they make, the poor decisions they make, because they're like, I don't want to make that crazy decision because I want to achieve this. And it's just such
yeah.
a gift we can give. The other thing is moms at any stage, I think prioritizing our mental, spiritual, and emotional health, it truly is the best gift we can give our kids. If we're
I agree.
caring for ourselves, if we're working through whether that's counseling, whether that's a mentor, a life coach, a group of women that just come together and do a book club, if we're growing constantly and working through our stuff, that just puts us in the best position to be a mom. It really does. And I mean,
Yeah.
I've had to work through things in the midst of being a mom, and we all do that as well. And that's okay too. But I think there's a lot healthier. I think it starts from a healthier place when I'm healthy in that area. So if I've dealt
Yeah.
with my issues with mean girls, it puts me in a lot better position to help my daughter dealing with a mean girl. So there's just
Yeah.
so many different aspects that dreaming for yourself, being self aware as a mom, and keeping your own vision and growth active in your life because you can just get so busy and you're giving, and you just need to invest in yourself. That is truly a gift. It puts you in the best place to be the best mom that you can be. So,
And I feel like we have so many young moms, probably us included at some point, that we just get lost in motherhood. Motherhood
me
is a
too.
gift, but it is something that is also sucks the life out of you. I mean,
Yeah.
literally, if you are not careful. And what I love about what this does is it helps you just continue with your own passions. And for our children too, I think it brings up that dreaming helps us get to know ourselves, it helps us get to know our children. And if they're dreaming, we get to learn what they're dreaming about. And sometimes they don't
Yes.
even know what they're dreaming about. But when it's going down on paper or you're saying it out loud, then we are able to acknowledge that and help support that. And for ourselves too. I mean, if we're saying it out loud, gosh, I love to paint and I haven't painted. You know,
Mhm.
one thing I just did, you're going to laugh, but I had a friend giving away a brand new keyboard. Now, I have not played the piano in probably
Mhm.
20 years, but I love to play the piano. And so I just immediately go, I want it. And now it's sitting, I'm looking at it over my office by my window, and I've been tinkering on the piano. Here I am
Mm,
almost 60,
that's
and I'm rediscovering a love for playing the piano. So, how fun is that? I mean,
yeah,
I love that it can do those kinds of things. It's never too late to dream, but
right.
my goodness, what a gift if we can do it as we're raising our babies and that we don't lose ourselves in motherhood. So I really love that this book gives that to our young moms for themselves and for their children. I mean, we've talked about dreaming, but did you have an end goal when you wrote it, somewhere you want it to lead us?
Well, I think that, like something to note is it's really not meant to do the work is meant to do alone. So the workbook, but I think the tool itself is about the dream day experience. So it's really about
Okay.
coming together with other people. So, I mean, ideally, like there is no ideal. For us, that's our family. And it's something, and I do think it's very important that a family has a tradition like this where they're, dreaming together. But you could also do that with girlfriends. Maybe you do it with your family and then you also get together with some other moms, with a group of moms, and you encourage each other because there's something about doing it in community. For us, we know, like, we have lived that where, I think the community, you have helped raise my daughter, and I have been a voice in your daughter's life. And I think there's something to having that community of other moms and other people to know where you are, to know how to encourage you and come alongside you and pray for you. And I think that's something that there have been seasons in my life where I was a little more isolated, sometimes by choice and sometimes
Mhm.
because it was just crazy and busy. And those are the times I think that I struggled more. We
Mm.
need that community and like not just, hey, we're meeting together, but hey, I really know what's going on in your life and I know how to encourage you in that or what questions to ask you. So
So
I
how would
think
that look? How would that look with this dream day? So let's do with a community. Like what just walk me through what that would look like.
so what you would basically do is it really only takes, I mean, you could stretch this out for a month. You could do this as a curriculum for your homeschool with your kids for the month of
Okay.
January, but you could also do it in 3 to 5 days. Like it's really
Okay.
how deep you want to take it. So 3 to 5 days, you do the work on your own, and then you come together with and have your dream day experience. So this is something, again, you could do it in a, 2 session, 4 session. For us, we do it in 1 session. So we literally just
Okay.
rent out a room and we are together. We order in food. We have our Starbucks and we just go through. And there is a section in the book called It's Dream Day. So this is toward the
Mhm.
end, which really, if you don't have time to, if you get busy and you can't fill out all the stuff, you can come back and do that later. Answer those questions. You're going to share what your some great experiences and memories were from last year, some lessons you learned, maybe through failure. And we're reframing that failure to lessons and growth so that we're not afraid to try things and we're not afraid of failure. And we're teaching our kids
Mhm.
that same thing. You're going to write down your core values, and there's a little section that takes you through that. And you're coming together. And for us, we just share. We just go around and share those things. You share as much
Okay.
as you want to, and then we sit down and we encourage each other in that. Like, I've seen that in you this year. I've seen you
Mm.
grow in that area. I saw you struggle and fail and then grow from it and learn from it. So the experience is important, if not more important than even the book itself. The book is a
Okay.
guide to take you through to the experience. So it's
Get it.
again, you
Okay.
can do it on your own, but I would highly recommend getting together with a group of friends or family and talking through it. And the guide takes you in the It's Dream Day takes you through exactly the questions to ask and go over.
So it really does become like a tradition for your family or for you
Yes.
and your friend group. It's something every year you can plan, you can look forward to. So is the book a one-time use? You get a new one next year, or how does that work?
Yes, next year there'll be a new one coming out, and next year I have
Okay.
a plan to do a kids version as well. So there'll be an
Oh,
elementary age
fabulous.
version so that you can, but for this with your elementary kids, you could, if they can't read yet or whatever, you can even just ask them a few of the questions and highlight a few of the questions for
Mhm.
this year. But so it will be at every year you fill it out and you um just prepare and then meet together. And that's
I love
uh,
that.
yep.
I think it's a beautiful concept, Amy. One thing I would love to just get your advice to, just because you are a seasoned mom, homeschool mom, mom of quite a large family, what advice would you give a mom going into 2026? She's overwhelmed, she's exhausted. This whole dream thing might even not be on her radar, but just in general, what's your best piece of advice for a young mom navigating this journey of motherhood?
It would absolutely be to care for yourself and to make sure you are taking the time. We spend so much time talking about here are our physical goals and this and that. But to me, the much, much greater thing we can do for ourselves is to care for our spiritual, mental, and emotional health. And I think
Mm.
investing in that, prioritizing that, having your morning routine as much as you can to have a moment of peace and having community in your life that encourages you in that, whether that's play groups, whether that's, get a sitter or, and come together with your girlfriends, church group. It's just essential. And because our kids are looking to us. And I think my kids admire most about me the fact that I did keep growing And yes, they were
Mm.
my life, and there were seasons where I didn't. There were seasons where
Right.
it was just all of them, and sometimes that's the way it goes, and the survival is have your coffee and go out on the porch for 5 minutes, so it can be as
Right.
simple as that, but there were other seasons where I very much prioritized, and I kept dreaming, and I kept thinking about what I might wanna do when that season was over, and I think that's
Yeah.
important. They want that for me, they respect that, and it models for them to also prioritize their health in those areas. That, counseling, be honest with yourself, that's another thing, like, do not fall into the trap of image management. We all are so tempted to do that in this culture. This I could
Yeah.
cry thinking about because it robs us of being who we truly are. And it's something
So
that I'm
true.
actually working on a book that'll come out in the spring about really your true identity and
Mhm.
embracing who you are. Because I think I
Yeah.
did that well with my kids. I really said, okay, this is who you are, flaws and all. And I embraced who they are, exactly who they are, and then encouraged them in that to be the very best version of that. But I don't know that I
Mhm.
did that with myself. I think for myself,
Wow.
it was like, I have to be this way or this way. And some of that is baggage from lots of different areas growing up. But the older I get, I see the importance of just knowing who I am, who I was designed and created to be, and then just being that, just with like you do that so well, Kathy. You live just
Oh.
out loud, boldly, confidently who you are, and you don't apologize for it. And again, that includes
Mm.
growth. That includes like we're not there yet, but just really finding your true identity and freeing yourself to be honest about that and
Yeah.
who that is. That's how this book starts. It starts with
I
an
love that.
honest inventory of where you are because if you don't know where you are, you don't know where you're going. So that's
And I
probably it,
think sadly, so many women, right? We have put on so many layers of mask of who we were expected to be,
right?
and giving them permission to shed that and to just not only own up to who they are, but celebrate who they are. And for
Right.
me, that was always my goal with my kids is I wanted them to become who they were already meant to be, not
Yes.
who I thought they were meant to be, but who
Yes.
God already determined they were going to be. It was my
Yeah.
goal to help them find that. So
Yep.
I think that's pretty amazing advice, and I think our young moms listening will be so grateful for that. Before we wind up, I always ask my guests their favorite childhood memory. Do you have one that was your own favorite childhood memory that you're willing to share?
Well, so for me, it's really a tradition, and I'm big about
Okay.
traditions, and probably because of this. So
Same.
every summer, my family, so my dad, who passed away 10 years ago, was the oldest of 8 boys. So in their family, they had eight
Wow.
boys. So every year, and my mom and dad, because he was the oldest, they started this tradition. So they go to a beach in North Carolina, and the entire family is kind of invited to go that same week, and it's a tradition that's truly since I can remember, since I was a baby, we have gone to this beach, just a little, family beach in North Carolina, which of course in my teenage years I hated because there was nothing to do, it was boring. But the
Yeah.
older I got, I so appreciate and my immediate family would stay in a house together. And now that family has grown to 25 people, so including my kids, their boyfriends or spouses and all that. So we're, as long as we can, staying in the same house together. But then my aunts and uncles and their kids are down the beach. So they're somewhere on the beach and we'll come together for a dessert time, almost like a reunion. And then down on the beach sometimes, just literally order pizza and hang out on the beach. So my kids get to know my cousins and their kids. So it's just such a, it's something we've prioritized. Like you kind of marry into it.
Yep.
So we're going on this beach trip.
Yeah.
But it's just been such a beautiful tradition that I think it taught me to value, obviously, that one of my core values is family, and another is just traditions, that the importance I think it
Yeah.
gives our kids this security, and you talk about this a lot, traditions are a constant, and that gives them just a security and a little bit of an anchor in life, so
Yes.
Love
And
traditions, and
it's a
that's one
way
of
to
my
carry
favorites.
on, right? It's a way to
Yes.
remember those who came before us and for us to pass on to the ones that are after us. All right, Amy, where can everyone find you? Because I know they're going to all be obsessed like I am and they're going to want to follow you and buy all the things. So tell us where they can find you.
Well, I'm on social media as amydavis.co. And to make it simple, my website is also amydavis.co. And there are links there. The book is available right now on Amazon. You can just literally, the links are on my socials and on my website, amydavis.co, or you can just search in Amazon Amy Davis Dream Day and it'll come up. So it's there and available now. I will also have another book coming out in the spring. So follow me on socials and I'll be putting information about that out soon. So
Amy,
excited.
that's so exciting. I can't wait to see that. Listen, this book is amazing. I can't wait to go through it. I need to order another copy for, I know Sarah is going to want it and
Mhm.
all the people in my family because it is truly remarkable. And I'm so proud of you and so excited to share it with my listeners. So thanks for being here.
I'm so thankful to be here. And I kind of one final thing is, it took me a good year or two to even publish it. And it was almost all
Hmm.
written because we've been doing it for years. So my encouragement is just like, don't let fear keep you from doing what your heart knows that you're meant to do. Because I did that for too long. And now I'm
Mm.
here. And this was the year that was meant to be,
Yes.
I know. But just have courage and just step out there and do it. Like, don't be afraid. If you fail and you grow. But that's kept me limited, and I don't want that to happen for anybody else. So we're
Yes.
growing and
Same. I'm
going in
right there with you,
2026.
girl.
Yeah.
Yes. I love that. All
Thank
right.
you,
Well, thanks
Kathy.
so much. All right.
Thank you so much. Bye
Bye.
bye.